Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you all so much for being here, your continued love and support here on the channel. For those of you that would like to book a private reading, you can find my email down below in the description box. Just send me an email and I will provide you with more information on booking readings as well as other services with me. So today's pick your card reading, we're going to do what do you need to know most about your career right now? Okay, what do you need to know most about your career right now? And if you do feel drawn to more than one of the groups, that is perfectly okay for today's reading. For group number 1, you are going to be this Fuschia Agate. For group 2, you are going to be the Flower Agate. And then for group number 3, you are going to be Opalite. Okay, if you already feel drawn to a specific crystal, you're more than welcome to skip ahead to the timestamp. It'll take you directly to your reading. Those of you that need a little bit more extra help, I'm going to pull one of these cards to help you with choosing, and then give you a close-up look at your card and the crystal to help you to make your selection. So what do you need to know most about your career right now? We're going to pull something for group 1 with the Fuschia Agate. What do you need to know most about your career right now? That will be for group 1, group 2 with the Flower Agate, and group 3 with the Opalite. Okay, and I am using the Southern Botanic Oracle today. So group 1, we have Swamp Lily, and it says stagnation and entrenchment. Number 31. Group 2, we have Hydrangea with gratitude and peace, and that is with the Flower Agate. Group 3, we have Rose, and it says love and sensuality. Number 9, this is also number 42. Okay, so those are the choices for today. Again, the question is, what do you need to know most about your career right now? Timestamps will be down below. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time, and I will see you each at your reading. Hi, group 1. So those of you that resonated with card number 31, we've got stagnation and entrenchment, okay? And so it does not sound like a good place to be in terms of career. This makes me feel that maybe for some of you, you've kind of reached a place where there hasn't really been so much growth or expansion. Maybe for some of you, this could even be in the same place for like a long time, especially with the entrenchment being here, that maybe you feel comfortable, or maybe you've been at the career or the job for like a long time. And so you haven't really maybe been feeling motivated to make any changes. You know, sometimes we also get stuck like in a routine or a rut. And there is a need for change. There's a need for movement here. With the number 31, I'm seeing this as Empress and Magician energy, first off, okay? The Empress is about nurturing. It's about growth and expansion. And the Magician is, in a way, an opportunity, potential, new beginnings. So it could be that this is Spirit kind of giving you this guidance here that something has to change. Something needs to change here, group 1. Reduce, they are also a number 4, which is the Emperor energy. The Emperor is about taking action. Okay, So perhaps this could be building a new foundation for yourself. This could be making some kind of change that's going to help you to grow. You know, even sometimes when we're at a specific position for like a long time, you know, and I've done the same thing in my past too, where I've stayed in the same job position, same rate of pay, no raises, no promotions, no change. And I've also seen other people in my life that have had the same job or career for like 20 years, 25 years, and nothing else changes, you know, where they become just like, I'm just doing this for a long time. Okay. So yeah, that's the first thing here that's coming through. So we're going to see what Spirit is saying. This, I feel like, definitely is a time for change. So maybe some of you could be needing to change either career paths altogether if you're not happy with the current career path. Going back to school, applying for new jobs, applying maybe for ones that allow for opportunities for promotion. Those of you that are self-employed, maybe this is learning a new skill, maybe adding on another service, changing business up a little bit. Okay. So what do you need to know most about your career right now? Okay. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, then we have the Seven of Wands. Two of Cups. What do you need to know most about your career right now? Nine of Cups. Nine of Wands. Queen of Wands. Three of Swords. King of Cups. And the King of Swords. I almost feel with this energy here that some of you are feeling more like you have heart's desires for something more. Some of you may have been doing the current job or career for a while. I mean, years for some of you, decade or longer. Some of you could also be feeling really burnt out, wanting to pursue something more creative. And you might, especially for those of you where you're kind of like really settled in, you might even be kind of taking the, holding on to thoughts that making a change right now would be really challenging. Really challenging here. So the Three of Swords can sometimes be, you know, emotional turmoil that we're going through. Because some of you might be feeling like, I want something more. I want something that feels more fulfilling. Something that feels more balanced, more aligned. but it could be a decision, you know, especially for those of you that have had a lot of years put into something that you're doing, a lot of work and time and energy that you've invested into it. It could be saying like, do I really want to change now? You know? So I'm going to look at this Three of Swords a little bit here. There's the Magician. And the Devil. Yeah, the Devil energy can be very limiting, very restrictive. Perhaps for some of you, you know, the place that you work at could be limiting your growth here. For others of you, it could be your own fear that is holding you back in terms of more growth or expansion here, meaning that you're placing these limits upon yourself. I'm also noticing in this Magician card how the crow's wings are like open wide, like it's free, which would be the opposite of that Devil energy. Why is the Three of Swords here? Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about exploring, adventure, excitement, enthusiasm, trying something new, doing something new, exploring. It's very similar to the energy of the Fool. I'm seeing the Eight of Cups at the bottom. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from something that is no longer bringing you emotional fulfillment. I mean, you've got the Nine of Cups here, which is about wish fulfillment, contentment, satisfaction. Now, some of you could be really comfortable. Like, I've worked hard at my job. You could be making some good money, especially with that Ten of Pentacles there. And feel content. You feel content, right? But that's also could cause the stagnation where there is potential for you to have even more, even greater, and maybe not even so much about money, right? But what about fulfillment? What about passions? What about creative ideas that you have? You know, it feels like there could be a desire to explore a little bit or to discover something new that you have, but there's a limiting energy here. Now, again, some of you, this is the place that you are at. For others of you, it's you kind of holding yourself back. Okay. Ten of Swords, the Moon, the Chariot. So in a way, with the whole decision to move forward here, to continue to progress, there could be a lot of uncertainty surrounding that. A lot of things that are unclear, feeling confused. Should I leave this job? Should I leave this career? Should I move on? Should I make a change? And I do feel like Spirit is wanting you to make, like, something has to change here. Because I feel like there are desires here that you have for something more. And maybe for some of you, that doesn't mean that you have to completely give up, you know, what you're doing. But I also feel like Spirit's kind of guiding you to explore a little bit. Okay. Let's see this King of Swords energy here. Three of Swords and the Hermit in reverse. Some of you are being guided towards entrepreneurship. So if you've been, say, working for someone else, right, for a long time, or at a career for a long time, and you've always wanted to pursue entrepreneurship, this could be the thing for some of you to pull you out of that place of stagnation. And some of you might be like, I want to have my own business, but I don't know what. And that is where, with the Hermit energy here, there's a need for some soul searching, some time to discover yourself, time to discover what your passions are. And how will you know what they are if you don't allow yourself to journey, if you don't allow yourself to explore and try new things, travel to new places, meet new people, talk to people, network, right? Do research online, right? Where you can kind of learn about new things, learn about new career paths, learn about new things that are interesting to you, or to look up different classes or certifications or different things that sound appealing to you. And you say, okay, I feel like I'm a little interested in that. Let me check it out. Let's go see what it's about. And then that, going down that path, could lead you to meeting someone, let's just say, who shares with you something that they do for a living, or that they know someone who does XYZ, and you're like, ooh, wow, I didn't know that that was a thing. I didn't know people did that, or I never even, so it kind of gives you like the inspiration, right? It could even be for some of you with that Three of Pentacles energy, that even moving to a new community could give you a little bit of a reset, a refresh, and starting new. Could also be something there for you too, where even moving to a new place could inspire things, right? If you move to, let's just say, a location that you've always wanted to live in that place, and then being in that new place around a new community and everything that it does have to offer can inspire new ideas within you. Okay. So I do feel like when we're asking, what do you need to know most about your career right now, that Spirit is saying that there is a desire here that you have for trying something new. For some of you, it is entrepreneurship. And if you are, and you've always said, I've always wanted to open my own business, I just don't know what, this is where you need to spend that time in reflection. And maybe that means taking a little break, going on a vacation somewhere, going for a drive, spending some time getting to know yourself. Some of you, it's like the first time in your life, where you're taking that time to really find out what your passions are, what you like, what makes you excited when you think about it. Let's see, why is this Hermit in reverse? The Sun, Ace of Cups. Because I feel like this is where this creativity flows. This is, I'm also feeling for somebody, there's a need for you to work on feeling more confident about pursuing things in your life that do bring you joy and happiness. Okay. Some of you, I feel like also spending some time outdoors could be helpful. Spending more time in nature, which helps you to really be present, be grounded, focused, clear, enough for you to receive insight from your own intuition. So let's ask Spirit here. Yeah, some of you, I kind of see this Three of Swords and the Devil. Maybe for some of you, this is a need for leaving a place. Okay. Walking away from a place here. So group 1, what else do you need to know most about your career right now? We have love is all around. Surrender now. And the abundant universe will provide. When this is talking about love is all around, I almost kind of feel like, in a way, because we're talking about career today, that there could be many different things that could be of interest to you. many different things that you could love, right? That you can fall in love with a certain passion or this creative idea or something here. But it feels more so you also allowing yourself to be led and guided by your soul. And knowing and trusting that if it is something that you truly feel is in alignment with you, maybe it's like your destined career path, or, you know, something that you feel is your purpose or your mission, that there is an inner knowing that the universe is going to provide those opportunities. So a lot of this has to do also with trusting yourself. Trusting yourself and where you're being guided. Because some of you could be feeling this stagnant energy. And I mean, I know because I've seen from my own experience where people's careers have been stagnant and they did nothing. And I was just like, you know, like, wow, you've been here at the same position for like 25 years and it wasn't even a career. It was just like a job, you know, 25 years. And I'm just like, wow, you know, I can't imagine. But, you know, some people, they find just the contentment and comfort, right, in that. And it works for them. But for other people, when they're stagnant, they're just like, no, I need to get out of here. And I'm one of those people that I couldn't I couldn't do it when I've had other jobs before, certain ones where I was just like, no, I can't sit here like this. Or even, you know, when I used to be in a cubicle, and there was no windows or nothing, and I was just like kind of like boxed in with my head down at the computer, and I was just like, I can't. I feel like my soul is dying inside, like this. So for some of you, you might the stagnant energy could be something that's really starting to bother you, where you feel like I can't I can't do this anymore. You know, I something needs to change, and I feel like that's kind of what Spirit's saying here. Surrender now to the change, to the transformation, to your transformation, to allowing yourself to evolve. Okay, because I certainly feel there's something here that you've outgrown. Maybe it's the company that you work for. Maybe it's the profession entirely, the whole career. For some of you, it's the job, right? Time for change. Time to open yourself up to new opportunities here. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna leave this here for you, Group 1. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, Group 2. So those of you that resonated with card 42, Hydrangea, with gratitude and peace, and the flower agate. This is going to be your reading today. So we're asking Spirit today what you need to know most about your career right now. And we have gratitude and peace. So this sounds like things are good. Maybe this is a new job you've got, or, you know, maybe this is receiving promotion, you're doing well, and you are feeling very grateful, or this could be Spirit saying to you that you need to have gratitude. So we'll see what is coming through with the tarot. So what do you need to know most about your career right now, Group 2? We have the 3 of Wands with the 8 of Pentacles. The Sun. That's beautiful energy. Wow, 10 of Pentacles. It could also be that this job that you have, or this career that you have right now, is one that is providing the skills, the practice, the expertise, because the 8 of Pentacles can be a card about apprenticeship, meaning that we're mastering the skill that we have, right? So maybe the career that you have right now is giving you the opportunities, the tools that you need in order for you to further expand and grow, okay? Some of you may have also put in a lot of hard work, a lot of effort into what you have built for yourself. And this could be more so about spirit wanting you to just kind of take some time to be at peace with where you're at, be proud of yourself, because the sun can also be about abundance. It can be about success, joy, and happiness, and also this feeling of completion, like, wow, there's a milestone that I've achieved. Maybe some of you, just finished school and are having like your first job of your new career, and it's like you're so grateful, or like I said, spirit could be saying you should be grateful right now. You've worked so hard and you've earned it. Be at peace right now with where you've come, or how far you've come. Okay, so what do you need to know most about your career right now? 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. Five of Pentacles, 10 of Swords in reverse, and we've got the Empress. Okay, some of you, I'm getting that you might feel that you're not exactly where you want to be. Okay, you're not exactly where you want to be in terms of your career. And I feel like Spirit is, again, kind of trying to bring you back to a place where perhaps there has been a lot that you have gained in terms of knowledge and expertise and developing certain skills, because this the 3 of Wands is about foresight. It's about thinking ahead, planning ahead, anticipation, expectations. And some of you might feel like, I want more. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we have the 10 of Pentacles here. 10 of Pentacles is a beautiful card of wealth and long-term financial security. The 8 of Pentacles requires a lot of commitment, dedication, time, energy, effort that we're putting in to what we're building. And for some of you, the 10 of Pentacles is securing long-term wealth for yourself, right? Generational wealth. It's also about making very good decisions when it comes to, career and business and money and finances to create that for yourself. And it takes time, right, for us to build. It doesn't just kind of happen overnight. It takes us being consistent and standing our ground with what we want and continuing to grow and evolve. Okay? Now, for those of you where you feel like, because the 5 of Pentacles can be about feeling lack, maybe some of you are unemployed right now, or you're in between jobs, and you might feel like there's no resources out there. There's nothing available. I can't find a job. I feel that there is a need for you to shift out of, right, this energy, because the Empress is here. The Empress is very much growth, expansion, abundance mentality. Okay? If we're in the 5 of Pentacles energy, we feel the energy of despair. We feel lack. We feel that helpless, right? Like there's nothing that we can do to change our situation. We feel like there's just a lack of resources. We might be dealing with even the feeling of the job or the career that you have right now isn't helping you to further advance your skills. Okay? In which case, I feel like there's a need here to perhaps be more disciplined with that Eight of Pentacles, okay? To focus on what you want for yourself in terms of long term, and be open to growth, especially when it comes to changing the mindset, because Five of Pentacles is scarcity mindset, okay? So I want to see what this energy of gratitude and peace is. Now, for others of you, I feel like you've come a long way. You know, you could have even have been someone who grew up poor with not a whole lot, not a whole lot, and completely changed the way in which you have maybe healed your relationship to that kind of energy. Okay. And this is where, if you're looking at, what you're experiencing now, especially for those of you that are really feeling very abundant and happy, again, that's where Spirit's saying, to feel a sense of peace, like you've worked hard and you've earned it. And for others of you that are not quite there yet, okay, like I said, I feel like it's just a little shift that you're needing to make in terms of instead of seeing it as, too challenging, or I can't do it, or there's nothing that I can do to change my situation. Sometimes we get into our head, right? And we start thinking all the negative thoughts that, we're never going to be able to get out of the situation. We're never going to find something, and this could include you thinking about what you want for the long term in terms of goals, dreams, desires for your career path, and start working on nurturing that, and the Eight of Pentacles, like I said, it does require a lot of consistency, a lot of dedication, hard work, effort, time, and energy that we're putting in order for us to see those results with that. Okay. Some of you could even be being really hard on yourself. Okay. Especially when it comes to like, I should be further along by now. I'm not happy completely. And that's okay. Right? To feel that way. But I feel like what Spirit's saying here is that putting yourself, and as I'm saying that, I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles at the bottom with the Nine of Pentacles and the King. Beautiful. So those of you that are still kind of, like I said, in that Five of Pentacles type of mentality, we want to shift away from that. Okay, away from scarcity, away from lack, and shift into abundance mindset, growth mindset. And that does require us to stand our ground with what it is that we want. Seven of Wands is about facing obstacles, facing challenges, because sometimes achieving that, or I should say all the time, right? It takes work, right? Unless you're born rich and have all the opportunities handed to you, or, jobs and, things like that, you have to work at it. The Nine of Pentacles is here, which is a card of being self-made, of financial security, financial independence, about being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Okay. Some of you, this could even be moving into entrepreneurship with that King of Pentacles there, making wise business decisions, taking certain risks, even with career, could be helpful. Okay. If you've had situations in the past where you have failed, the King of Pentacles, in a way I like to think of the King of Pentacles, who has been there, done that. Who has fallen many times, but got right back up and continued on. Because look at how this, and even in this card here too, where at the top of this little mountain or whatever it is, there's this one crow that's up there, and all the other crows have fallen. But that little crow is still there, still standing. So in a way, I feel like this is perseverance. It's not giving up. So in a way, if you are kind of feeling, you know, I'm not there yet, I haven't achieved what I want yet, I feel like focus on the vision. Be proud of yourself for where you're at right now, even if it's not exactly where you want to be, and continue to have that energy of, no matter what it takes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this. I will make this happen. Okay, keep yourself in that type of mindset, mentality. So I do want to look at the gratitude and peace here. The Chariot in reverse. The Star and the Eight of Swords. Okay. Some of you could be limiting yourself, holding yourself back. Okay. The Eight of Swords is a lot of negative thinking. The Star is a need for having faith in yourself, believing in yourself, that you can achieve those long-term goals in terms of career success and accomplishments. We just have to continue to be consistent. It's about not giving up. Okay? When we do find ourselves in a place of stagnancy, right, we kind of assess the situation and say, okay, what do I need to shift? What do I need to change here in order to help this to move in the way that I want it to? Because all the, you know, the worrying and the stressing and the thinking in terms of the Five of Pentacles energy is not going to help us to get there, right? We've got the shift into this Empress energy, which is about nurturing. It's about growth. It's about expansion. And that does, right, require us to be consistent, to really commit ourselves to doing, you know, whatever this is in order to see the change that we want to see. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor here as well. And we do need both of them, right? Empress and Emperor energy, masculine, feminine. They've got to work together, okay, to really build something solid, stable. And I really feel like Spirit's saying, don't give up, okay? Don't give up. The Star is here, which is about you having hope. It's about believing in yourself, about having faith in yourself, trusting yourself in where you're being guided, or that you can make your career dreams come true. Okay? Some of you, like I said, it is you limiting yourself, holding yourself back. Okay? All right, let's see here. We've got be at home, be generous of spirit. And I feel like this is a lot of bravery. This is courage, strength, overcoming fears, being at home within the self. We have transformation is beautiful. I would also say, watch your words. Speak kindly to yourself. Okay, sometimes we can be our harshest critic with it. I feel like the important part here is the being the self-aware of how we may be limiting ourselves, right? Based off of the way that we're thinking here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group 2. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the Rose card, number 9, it says love and sensuality with the Opalite. This is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out, what do you need to know most about your career right now? So let's pull the tarot and see what is coming through for you, group 3. What is coming through for group 3 about what they need to know most about their career right now? We have the 3 of Pentacles, the Chariot, 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Nine of Swords, the Nine of Cups. Judgment in reverse. Okay. Three of Swords and the Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, some of you may have experienced some type of job loss here, okay? I don't think it's all of you, but some of you, yes. Or even the inability to find work here. But with Judgment in reverse, sometimes this is when we're ignoring signs. Some of you could be at a job, okay, or a career, in your career, where you're feeling a desire to move towards something that is going to bring about more fulfillment, but there could be a little bit of anxiety about changing, okay, or more expansion and growth of your career. There could be a lot of the worrying here about it. Some of you could even be thinking about going back to school for something that you love more. So I want to see this Judgment in reverse. Queen of Wands, Four of Swords. Yeah, this feels very much like wanting to pursue something that you're passionate about. Also, you know, roses are also a symbol of passion, especially the red ones, you know. So maybe this is about really wanting to do something that you really love, something that you're really passionate about. And maybe you've been taking time to think about it, but haven't done it yet. And so with the Chariot, this is about having the willpower to move forward, okay? I'm seeing the Ace of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, which can be about divine inspiration. The Wheel of Fortune is here, which is about change. So some of you are feeling are being inspired towards some type of a change. Being guided towards a change here or a shift. Like I said, some of you, this could be going back to school, maybe for a whole different career path with something that you really love here. Okay. And if you are feeling that and you're kind of like, just like, you know, seeking confirmation today, then there's your confirmation. Okay. That is your confirmation that if you're feeling the shift, you're feeling it inside of yourself, there's a need for you to go with it. Because the Chariot is about making steady progress. It's really moving and having the focus, the willpower, the determination for expansion and growth. You know, some of you could even be taking your career to this next level, especially with the Hierophant being here. The Hierophant can be about, you know, even for some of you, sharing knowledge, wisdom, being able to lead others. Maybe that's moving into a higher level position, you know, such as management or executive level, maybe even some of you entrepreneurship there. Okay. I do want to clarify, I think I'm going to grab a different deck. I'm going to clarify the Wheel of Fortune here, because the Wheel of Fortune is about change. And I do feel like this is what Spirit is kind of inspiring you to do here. Also, the card that you chose is a number 9, which is the Hermit energy. And the Hermit energy can be a time for reflecting within the self, maybe finding what it is that we do love, what we are passionate about. This can be a time of self-discovery. Okay. Let's see what this Wheel of Fortune. Three of Pentacles. Page of Swords and the King of Wands. Some of you, I do feel like this is a path of entrepreneurship. The King of Wands is also about leadership. So this is about paving a new path for yourself, or for some of you, this could be kind of like I was saying earlier, moving into a position of leadership. Maybe if you're employed right now, you know, this could be you being guided towards getting the skills that you need in order for you to move up to that level, because Spirit could be saying that you do have the abilities within yourself to be able to lead and guide others. Okay, so maybe it means for some of you, if you feel like, okay, I'm not there yet in terms of my skills, where this would be you going to school or getting the certifications that you need in order for you to be at that level of leadership. Okay. Now, for those of you where you've already, right, spent a certain amount of time, years, and you're already at that level where you know you could be a leader, you know that you could be a boss, you know that you could be a good leader to others, where you are being guided to kind of step into that role. Okay, and maybe for some of you where this is in pertaining to entrepreneurship, the Three of Pentacles is about community. It's about networking. It's about if you're someone who's taking the path of entrepreneurship, this could be you collaborating with others. It could be building relationships with other people that could be good people to know in terms of resources that you connect with, right? That are going to help you through that networking to help to further expand your business. The Page of Swords is also about studying, learning, observing, teaching. Some of you, I feel like you already have knowledge here that you can share to guide and lead others. Maybe some of you are natural teachers, naturally gifted in terms of that, because the King of Wands is also a very inspiring energy, leading by example. So there could be some kind of energy that you embody, your passion, your charisma, your confidence in yourself, or even the way in which you speak to other people, that could be very helpful for them to kind of tap into that energy within themselves, right? Where you're kind of instructing in some way. You could even be someone who's really good at business, marketing, like I said, teaching, where you can then share your success, your skills, your ideas that could even lead and inspire other people to kind of doing it for themselves, where you give people business advice, or you give, you know, like let's just say if you have had a career for like a really long time and have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. The Hierophant can be about mentoring. Maybe some of you do need a mentor, okay, when it comes to your career. And that could be where you need to, where your advice here today would be about your career, that you need to, that talking to a mentor would be helpful for you, okay? For others of you, it's that you are that person who is able to provide wisdom and knowledge in that way, where you are kind of like a mentor to others, where people learn from you, okay? Which could even be a skill that you discover within inside of yourself, right? Through that period of reflection. You know, sometimes I feel like we overlook a lot of the talents that we have, a lot of the skills that we have, where just because we're in a certain career field, that we feel like we're only limited to just that place, you know. Even through my own career shifts and changes that I've had in my life, every single one of them has been something that has helped me, even with doing this, even though it was completely unrelated. You know, I've worked jobs in customer service. I've had jobs that I've worked in finance. And I've had jobs, what else did I do? Working in education, working for schools, for colleges, working as a nurse, and now doing this, you know, all of those things I've been able to take away certain skill sets that I've learned from those that have helped me, even with running my own business now. And all of it was helpful. I feel like, wow, I learned all those skills when I was working in finance, and that have taught me how to do, you know, this part of being able to run my own business. Or I learned that from that job that I've had that has helped me in this way. So sometimes there can be a lot of that, right? And I feel like with the Page of Swords energy here too, Page of Swords, some of you might also have some really great skills of observation, of noticing all the details, which could be quite important for you to help with people as well. Okay, so I want to see, I'm going to pull some oracle here. We have open to infinite possibility with a starfish spirit. That is beautiful. We have stag spirit, says take the lead. There's the King of Wands. And we have reclaim your power and overcome any obstacle. Okay, so for those of you that feel like I can't do this, Spirit's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Reclaim your power here. Yes, you can. Take the lead. For some of you, this is paving a whole new path for yourself. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave it here for you. Group 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.